What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the No Days Off DFS channel. It's your boy Zoe back with another WNBA weekly breakdown, episode 3. We are 3 weeks into the season, so we've gotten to see the ladies ball out for quite some time. A little bit of tendencies now that we can get to see, standings and stuff adjusted, teams playing left and right, and we're going to go over what has happened in this past week for the WNBA. We get to talk about some star performances, some dud games, game of the week, and some other little moving parts of what's going on in the league. If you guys are new here and you guys are enjoying this type of content, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, drop a like, talk to me down in the comment section. Let me know what you think of the WNBA season so far. And yeah, let's jump right into this today. So, real quick, gonna go over look at the standings straight out the gate. As we see, Aces are still sitting up at the top. Sun's still sitting at the top. Liberty's still sitting at the top, and the Sparks are actually sitting here in this fourth spot. They've jumped the sky. And then just middle of the pack, we just have the Washington Mystics just sitting idly sitting right there. The Dallas Wings, they have actually fallen from being up here in this top 4 or 5 range that they were in for the past couple of for the past 2 weeks. The Dream, of course, expected. The Phoenix Mercury's just still haven't gotten it together yet, sitting right here in ninth. And then of course down at the bottom we have the Fever, the Lynx, and the Storm. So of course that bottom, like we've said numerous times, that's kind of gonna stay pretty steady right there in regards to who's gonna be right there. So over the past week, of course, injuries and stuff like that starts to pop up as the season goes on. We actually do have some injuries to consider and go over for this week. No, not gonna go DFS content wise in regards to this, but these injuries, they actually do kind of matter, especially for the fact of Diamond Miller. She sprained her ankle pretty bad in one of the Lynx previous contests this past week, and it when I say that ankle, she turned her foot probably like a good 90 degrees. It was legit just sideways like that. So just seeing that, I knew she was going to be out for a while. How that was going to impact the Lynx, especially for the fact that she was just starting to get it rolling. You really seen that she was figuring it out in regards to her picking her spots for her to score, playmaking, and just the defensive end that as well. She was looking really good out there. It really sucks that it came. It's always whenever a player starts to get rolling and they're starting to figure it out is whenever you'll start to see these injuries and stuff like that. So I do hate that for her, but gives her time to just sit on the bench, watch the game, and process the game that way. And then, of course, when she comes back in, we'll see how she's going to be flowing and going with that. A shift in the lineups, of course, for the Libs. I'm not for the Libs, for the Lynx. But I think that the thing really looking at that was the fact that they got Kayla McBride. It's kind of weird. They got Kayla McBride back, then they lost Simon Miller. So it's a push and pull. Diamond Miller, she's a part of your future, part of what your franchise is wanting to build on. With the score for Miller, for Collier, stuff like that. So of course we're gonna have to wait a little while to see exactly how that duo is gonna work out in the future. But it's time for someone else to step up, which we have actually gotten to see someone else step up. Dorka has looked amazing in her 2 games that she started so far for the Libs, and why do I keep saying the Libs, for the Lynx? She's looked amazing out there, pretty good rebounding wise, got a pretty nice touch in regards to scoring around the basket, and then also on top of that, just the playmaking, being able to dish a couple of dimes, stuff like that, and the defense, all those things are staying out. She's looking very good in regards to the 2 games that she did start and play heavy minutes. Honestly, I was actually kind of surprised that they ran her out there for the 30. What, she played 37 minutes one game, 33-ish minutes another game. Was really surprised in regards to the fact that they gave her that type of run. Very impressed in regards to just trusting her in regards to that, because I mean, this is another rookie. You're not exactly sitting here like, okay, yeah, let me go ahead and give you this run. You're playing off the bench, you were backing up, but now you're starting. So this giving kind of a shift to the Lynx starting lineup in regards to making Jessica Shepard play more of her natural position at the 4. With that being said, that's kind of given us a little bit of a dip in regards to Jessica Shepard's rebounding numbers, but hopefully it won't impact her too long in regards to just what she was doing on the rebounding and the playmaking aspect. I still feel like it'll still be there for her, but we're definitely seeing a trend with the centers for the Lynx in regards to how they are playing through them, especially playmaking wise and things like that. So that's pretty good for them. For the Sky, they are going to be without Rebecca Gardner for quite some time. She just had foot surgery. She's going to be out for I want to say, I think they said 4 to 6 weeks in regards to that. She had foot surgery. So that is a blow to the Sky, who down to 8 active players on the roster last time I looked at it. It'll be interesting to see exactly what they do there. It's of course been a play by committee. I know that they should be losing another one of their players. I don't think it was Cone. I'm pretty sure it was Aware. I think that's how you say her name. But she is supposed to be leaving to go play overseas, so that's another player that they're going to be down. She was a rotation piece for them. So I'm not too sure if they're going to rely more heavily on their starters. We did see their starters play significant minutes in the 2 games that they did play going up against the New York Liberty. So that's going to be interesting to see if they continue to lean there. But I would expect Gildu to go ahead. I know he's looking out there trying to sign someone else to a hardship contract or something like that. Just even it out. But they got some pretty decent production from Smith, pretty decent production from Cone, and then I can never say her name right. I'm pretty sure it was like Ped. I don't want that. Let's dig and look straight into it. Pretty sure it was Ped. Pretty sure it was Ped. No, Parks. I don't know why I said Ped, but Parks came in her 20 minutes, looked very good in those 20 minutes that she came out there. And it's Anigwe. She is actually going to be leaving to go overseas to go play, so she is not going to be there. So really that rotation, just looking at it right there, Dana Evans, she ended up being out that last game that they played. Of course, they're still without Isabel Harris and Birch. So this is pretty much their who they're running out there. Heavy minutes I'm going to be expecting for the starters. Heavy minutes. And then of course you got Parks, you got Cone, and they're gonna have Dan Evans back, but it's looking like legit a 8 woman roster, 8 women running out there for them. So again, that's gonna be very interesting to see how they're gonna deal with the injuries and stuff that they have, because they are without significant players for quite some time. So I do expect for them to sign someone else to a hardship deal or something like that, especially within the next couple of days, considering that they don't play until later on in the week. So definitely be looking forward to see exactly how that's going to shake out and how that's going to go. And then for the Dallas Wings, unfortunately, Diamond DeShields, I don't know what's going on with her knee. I don't know. It's really been murky details in regards to her knee injury. She played 1 game in the preseason, didn't play in the next one due to knee soreness, and then ever since then, it's like it's this knee injury again. She's kind of being very ominous in regards to talk to the team, reminding them to be thankful, being able to walk, be thankful in regards to, being able to play and things like that. So it's been yet seen what exactly is going on with that knee. Going to be very interesting to figure that out exactly what's going on there. So it's something to keep your eye on and to monitor. But hopefully it's not nothing major. I know she's supposed to be out for at least the next month or so. So, but hopefully speedy healing and stuff like that for Diamond DeShields. I do wish her the best. Another great player, great on defense and all the other good stuff. So, can't wait to actually have her back, especially just for the fact of have not gotten to see this full Wings roster and lineup with everyone out there balling out with the Shields, with McCowan, and none of that. We have not gotten to see that yet. It'll be very interesting to actually see that and see how they produce. And honestly, I feel like because we don't have the Shields out there, we haven't had McCowan out there. That's what's led the way for other players to step up. Which we'll hit on that in regards to our Player of the Week, which I'm pretty sure you can guess who exactly is the Player of the Week. But definitely. I feel like that has led the way to some of the other things that we have been able to see for the Dallas Wings. Some other news for the Dream, they actually have signed a player. They signed Taylor Mikesell. She was the number 13 pick in the draft for the Indiana Fever. Got waived, of course, through training camp and preseason and whatnot. Did not make the roster, but she's going to have another chance to make it into the WNBA, which is going to be very good. I'm excited for this pickup for the Dream, specifically for the standpoint of the Dream. They lack a big thing whenever they're out here playing, and that's their 3-point shooting, which is what she is known for. That's kind of her calling in regards to what she goes out there and do. Taylor, she's a 44% shooter. And really just look at these 3-point numbers for the Dream. Just look at it. 2 of 4, 1 of 2, 0 of 2, 0 of 1, 1 1, 1 1. They're not really getting too many 3-point shots up. Now the thing is going to be if she's going to be able to get out there and get that run and burn and actually play. I feel like for the Dream, this is kind of to me going to be due to the fact of you're not really getting too much production out of Durr. You're getting minimal production out of McDonald, which were two of your main shooters from last season who jacked up a lot of shots. I know that Alicia Gray was brought in. I know she has a decent 3-point shot, but that's you're not really getting all that consistently every game from her. And then Howard, of course, we know she's going to chuck it up and she can hit those, but you need more scoring out there, especially for the Dream. And that's what I'm hoping that Taylor's going to be able to bring for them in this scenario, whose minutes she's going to take and what she's going to do, because of course we're still waiting for Haley Jones to really get significant burn and run, which she did actually get that going up to the sky one of these games this past week and looked really good in that run. Looks like she's finally figuring out, which watched the post game interviews and stuff like that. She just say, I finally went out here and I just let go. I just played. I wasn't nervous about going out here. Wasn't trying to worry about mistakes and stuff like that. So good to see Haley Jones actually have a pretty good game out there. And it's going to be really interesting to see where Taylor is going to be able to fit in there. 3.4 threes that she was making last year, not last year, for in her 2 seasons when she was playing for the Buckeyes. So that's going to be pretty big. You're getting a 17 point scorer that average 17 points coming to your team. Hopefully she can definitely make this roster and stay and stick with them, because that's going to be just a big boost for them, period. And I really would like to actually see the Dream take that leap. I know that they're trying out there, a young team, just still trying to figure it out. Have not done too great in regards to the standings and how they're looking, but I know that for a fact they're wanting to climb from that 2-3 future start. Get up here a little bit more this season. They have some pretty high hopes, so that'll be interesting to see if they actually do that. And then for my Dallas Wings, we signed Kalani Brown. She is signed to the Wings. Came out there, impressed in the first game that she played. They went ahead and signed her to a long-term contract and looked pretty good. To me, she's going to fill that role that we would see McCowan filling. No, she's not going to start. They're going to run those starters still with Howard starting at the 5, Satu sitting at the 4, and Brown, she's going to be that backup big. And I feel like she's going to be doing the same thing once again for whenever McCowan comes back, because they're kind of the same stature, and that's how I see them. Both the same stature, big bigs. I would still say McCown's a little bit bigger, but also on top of that, great rebounding, a pretty good presence around the rim, good putbacks, offensive rebounds, block upside, all those things. And I'm not going to say she's going to play a huge big role, but definitely a pretty good signing for the Wings to have, especially whenever you know how Natasha Howard, she can definitely get into some foul trouble. Same thing for Satu, which she's done a much better job this season in regards to controlling her fouls. We haven't had to worry too much about her foul trouble, so that very, very, very much interesting and good for the Wings to actually make that kind of signing right there. All right, guys, moving on to my top players of the week. So I have 2 players. That's just going to be top players of the week. One, of course, I already kind of touched on it, but for the Dallas Wings, when I sit here and I look at the team, point blank period, I feel like we are finally actually seeing what we should have seen and what we were expecting in the first 2-3 years of her coming in and playing. But Satu has played at a unbelievable level to start the season. She is out here balling, averaging 22 points a game right now. Pretty much doing really well in regards to the rebounding aspect. How many? Well, of course, they're not going to exactly tell me the rebound average right here, but pretty sure it should be like about 10 rebounds a game. Just looking at the numbers of what she's put up just to start the season in these 5 games. It's just amazing. It's really is truly great. But the thing that stands out to me in regards to what she is doing is the 3-point attempts and the 3-point makes. They're not bad in regards to her makes, but the attempts, you definitely see that she's believing in that 3-point shot that she has. She's shooting it. She's honestly the 1B to the 1A of Enrique out there. And when you have 2 of the top 5 scorers in the league right now in your team, that's why the Dallas' offense is just popping and going off. And a big part of that is just to the big step that Satu has taken this season. She's looking amazing out there, and hopefully that will continue. That run is going to continue in regards to what she's able to go out there and do. And it's just like that. If you guys have not gotten to see what she's going out there doing in regards to how she's playing, I would definitely suggest go look at some of her highlights from the past week or 2, and you will be impressed in regards to what you're seeing. She's dominating inside the post. That mid-range game is pretty good. The pull-up game is good. The defense is there as well. She's getting some steals in almost every single game. Of course, like I said, the defensive rebound, offensive rebounds, that's there, and the playmaking that she's actually producing. No, she's not going to go out here and get you 5-7 assists every single game, but her being able to get some assist numbers, period, is good. That's good ball. something good for us to see out there in regards to what she's able to do. It's the full package of what she's actually producing for the Wings on the season. And then my second player of the week, if you haven't gotten to watch the Sparks and the Storm game, I suggest going and watching that game if you get the chance to, because Jewel Lloyd put on a clinic in that Sparks game. 39 minutes, dropped 37 points, was 8 of 12 from 3, and honestly did not look like there was one shot that she was going to miss. I want to say in the second quarter, she had like went five straight, 5 for 5 at one point, and 3 of those at least were threes, deep threes too. Not your regular, just some little midi pull up type stuff or whatnot. But she was saucing, she was dealing. She was defending pretty well as well out there. Canada, I will give Canada a straight up ovation in regards to how she played out there. She played some real ferocious tenacity defense out there on Lloyd. Did her best to stay with her, but Lloyd was just cooking, man. It was a beautiful, beautiful game. I really truly did enjoy watching that game. Just everything that I've seen from her, and I mean I know it's kind of to be expected for a player who is gonna have to lead this team, looking for their identity, still trying to figure it out. I've talked quite highly in regards to, I feel that the Storm, they are there to stay in a lot of these games, but they're not there to win those games. Now, I felt like the Storm, they should have won that game. They led for spurts throughout that game here and there, but NECA, she just put up a monster of a game herself. Coming off of a back-to-back was why I really felt like the Storm, they should have won that game. They had the time off. They were already sitting in LA. They were waiting. They were ready. Playing inside of Kobe's arena, pretty much. Lloyd, huge Kobe fan. If you don't know, I mean, her nickname, she's a Mamba herself. She's been coined that name herself. So, and that was by Kobe herself. So you actually got to see it on display out there when she played, and it was just beautiful. If you have not gotten to watch the game, I highly suggest going back, watch the Sparks and Storm game. Great game all around. Wasn't too sloppy of a game. I'm sure there was some misses, of course, like always, but very good. Pay attention to Lloyd. Amazing, great game, awesome. Would definitely tip my hat. But yeah, she definitely wins out when it comes to player of the week. Like I said, loved everything that I actually got to see from that game. It was great. It was really, really good. Now we had player of the week, but we also got to talk about our duds of the week. And now this right here, this isn't gonna be necessarily gonna be a player, but this is gonna be the team. And to me, the dud game of the week that we had this week, there's no way to sugarcoat it, but that's gonna be none other than the Phoenix Mercury taking on the Minnesota Lynx. That game was horrible. Where is it? No, not the Phoenix Mercury taking on the Lynx. It was the Phoenix Mercury taking on the Sparks. I was sitting there, I was reading at the same time. The Sparks had not played in over a week. You're coming off of rest. Great rest on top of that. The Sparks, yes, they hadn't played for almost about the same amount of time. So there was no excuse in regards to tired legs or anything out there, none of that. But when I say that the Mercury, they have some things to figure out. They truly do have some things to figure out. You can't lean on BG to go out here and try to do it all every night. Same thing for Diana Taurasi. You have got to get your role players to step up. Brianna Turner, I personally do not understand how she plays her minutes or gets some of the minutes that she gets. I see, yes, you're giving Onion some more minutes and whatnot. Yes, 27 minutes, 10 points, but we need more production. More production, more production, more production. Sophie Cunningham went out there, balled out, did her thing, 19 points, 3 rebounds. Okay, whoop, good junk. Brittany Griner, 24 points, 11 rebounds. Good junk. 7 of 13, great, good efficiency. Diana Taurasi, she had 19 points, 7 of 12. That's not a bad game. I give her that. But the game went to overtime. Shouldn't have went to overtime at that. And they just look horrible. I don't understand exactly what the Phoenix Mercury are doing. It seems like they just go out there and they're relying, okay, yeah, we're vets, we got this, we're good. It's not working. Mariah Jefferson, horrible game, 32 minutes, and you only had 5 points. 2 of 3, only 2 shots. These are the things I'm talking about. Mariah Jefferson should not only be taking 2 shots. or 3 shots. You should be getting more shots up than that, especially considering that you guys played 45 minutes. It was a 45-minute game. There's no reason why more outside of your star players are not getting some more shots up. Doesn't make any sense at all. None whatsoever. Brittany Griner, she's getting to the line. That's where a lot of her production is coming from. Diana Taurasi, 3-point shooter, knocking down threes at home, great at home, and especially for 3-point shooting and whatnot. But man, that was a stinker. That was a letdown. You should have won that game going up against the Sparks. No other way to put it. And then I mean, when you look at the Sparks and what they did, yes, this was a catalyst of the fact that Lexi Brown had her season, or not her season high, her career high, 26 points. Looked great out there. If the Sparks, they want to win a lot of games, want to do good, it is going to be if Lexi Brown can actually step up and just be a consistent scorer this year. That is definitely going to be a key sticking point for the Sparks. On top of that, Nneka goes out there, does what she does, gives you what she can give you. Played 40 minutes out there, dropped 21 points, 12 rebounds. Of course, her regular dominant force, double-double, not taking nothing away from that. Cheney, her sister, kind of expected her to struggle. She's typically struggled going up against the Mercuries themselves. It's really just not that type of matchup for her. Mid-level game. So outside of Canada, Brown, and Nneka going out there and just giving you a couple of buckets, I really would have expected this team that has Sophie Cunningham, Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi, Mariah Jefferson to actually be able to go out here and give me more. Just give me more. It's just sour taste in my mouth. Sour taste in my mouth. Just looking at it, watching it, just sour. Just completely sour. I just didn't like it. But yeah, that's going to be the dud game of the week. And then if you guys did not get to see it, outside of watching the Sparks and the Storm game, which of course I think is up there for game of the week, the one that to me is going to be the game of the week is just for the fact of the Minnesota Lynx beating the Washington Mystics. Now, the Washington Mystics, they were coming off of a back-to-back. True. This is the thing that makes it a dud to me. Elena Delle Donne. She talks so highly about, I'm healthy, I'm good, I'm ready, this is my season, I'm not missing no games, I'm not resting, I'm playing in back-to-backs, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But you went out there and you did not look good in a back-to-back at all. Granted, Cloud looked great. Cloud dominated in that game to me in aspect of the fact of she was knocking down shots. She was setting up others. Shakira Austin, that's what I expect for her coming out here and playing. 14 points, 10 rebounds, double-double. That is what I expect from Austin. Ariel Atkins got it going more towards the later half, was in a little bit of foul trouble. 18 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Would have loved if she would have actually been able to pick it up on the defensive end with some steals and blocks, but hey, that's fine. Brittany Sykes and Elena Delle Donne were the two holes right there for the Washington Mystics in this game. Sykes just is, I don't know what the heck is going on. Sykes has played much better at home. Even in her history, she's played better at home. Definitely a matchup that she should have done pretty well in, going up against the Lynx, which just doesn't make any sense to me because they bleed points and stuff to the guard position. But I guess that's why Natasha Cloud was actually able to go off. But Sykes just looked horrible, was missing easy bunnies, easy layups, just horrible game, horrible all around. Just flush down the toilet, wash it. Elena Delle Donne, same thing. You could see that she was tired. You could tell she was tired. You could tell she was on some tired legs. Or I don't know, maybe it might have been a tired back. Not making fun of her back or nothing like that, but I expect more from you. You played your minute average and everything. If you're wanting to play on the back-to-backs, you're going to have to step it up. You're definitely going to have to bring it next time that you guys do actually have another back-to-back. Or maybe the coaching staff, this is where you step in and you decide, hey, we are going to rest you. We're going to hold you out. Or cut back her minutes, something. But she just didn't have it going. Went 4 of 12, and I want to say in that whole first half, she went like 0-5 for the meantime. And then did a little bit on the rebounding end, but other than that was a non-factor in this game. Period. Non-factor. This game, only reason why this game was even remotely close to the fact that Natasha Cloud got it going and was actually doing a little bit of something out there. Other than that, no. Horrible game. But now on the Lynx side, this is why I say Dorka has stepped up huge for them. Her box score numbers don't say too much in regards to 7 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. But let me tell you, allowed 7 points off of putbacks, actually getting to the free throw line, knocking down your free throw shots. Yes, she went 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Doesn't seem like a lot. But just the fact that you're getting the offensive boards, you're actually drawing fouls, and you're actually making the shots that count. That is why you went ahead and you etched out this win. She's been a big contributor. From going from 12 to 15 minutes up to 33 minutes, huge jump. 33, 37 minutes. That's a huge jump to actually come in here and play. Great. I'm loving exactly what I'm seeing from that. Another reason why the Lynx won this game, and I will say I was down on her, Kayla McBride. Did not see the Kayla McBride explosion game coming at all. 4 of 11 from 3, 9 of 19 from the field, 24 points, 5 rebounds. A little iffy on the assist with only 1, but still, when Fee is going out there and she's not having the biggest game, best game in the world, went out there 17 points, 3 steals, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. You expect maybe a little bit more from her, especially on the point side and whatnot. But when you actually get your vet to go out there, Kelly McBride dropped 24 points. Tiffany Mitchell struggled, got it going kind of early, but then struggled after that first quarter. 10 points. And then Jessica Shepard, she's not a scorer. She's never really been a scorer. That's not what we were expecting Shepard to do. That's big. Now, are the Lynx going to win many more games and whatnot? I don't think. I still feel like they're going to be 1-2 when it comes down there with the Storm for who's going to be down at the bottom of the standings in 12 and 11. Is it great to actually see them win a game? Yes, really great. That's why I give them the game of the week. Really was a great game, all around good performance from them in regards to what they went out there and they did to etch out that win. And big ups to Dorka just coming in there, stepping into that starting lineup and role, and handled her own pretty well against Austin and Elena Deladon. Was really great. Was good. Oh, and other news for the Mystics, Misha Hines Allen, she was finally back. Didn't look that great, but yeah, she's back. She is back. All right. The main part of the this episode that I wanted to get into was the ESPN. They updated the power rankings for this week. Was gonna go over the power rankings, just give my thoughts and my 2 cents in regards to the power rankings. If I think they're fair, if I think they're right, if I would move anybody up, down, left, right, and then also gonna go over in regards to the upcoming games and what is to be expected of these games. I'll give my 2 cents analysis. Of course, once again, this is going to be outside of my DFS perspective for looking at these things. If you want my DFS perspective, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and hit the like button as well, because that means a lot to me. And so why you guys will also know whenever I drop my DFS content going over the WNBA slate. We have a 3-game slate tomorrow. I will be breaking that down, of course, tomorrow before the game starts. So if you guys want my my DraftKings breakdown analysis, my props and plays and stuff like that, check the link in the description below for the Patreon, and you guys can sub to that. But also make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you're not missing this free content that I'm putting out as well. All right. Looking at the ESPN WNBA power rankings, of course, starting straight out, they got Las Vegas Aces. They're undefeated still, 6-0, and to be honest, they almost lost that game to the Fever. Now that game for the Fever, I think that game says more about the Fever than it does the Aces in that game that pretty much went down to the wire, and it was so close to the fact of the Fever actually etching it out. But that just says that the Fever can play better than what they've been playing, especially if you can actually get Erica Wheeler to get it going and actually lead the team as the vet, what is expected of her. And then Nalissa Smith, Aaliyah Boston, all of them can just come along and just do what they're expected to do. But the Aces, of course, led by none other than Asia Wilson and Jackie Young, as always. Dominant performance by Wilson. She honestly had it going from the beginning. I don't know if she had a little bit more of a chip on her shoulder because she was playing against another former Gamecock. I don't know if that's what it was, but she looked really good out there. Was dominant. Took it straight to her. Legit was cooking Boston. Was cooking her left and right. You can tell that Boston was having trouble hanging with her, but she did her best. Got a little bit of foul trouble. Then Queen came in there, but Queen was not no match, of course, for Wilson as well. Was knocking down some mid-range shots. Was getting to the line. Was getting what she wanted around the rim, around the basket. And then, of course, Jackie Young just going out there, just stroking it. But when it mattered most, Chelsea Gray, she stepped up in the crunch time. Asia stepped up in the crunch time, and same thing for Jackie stepped up in the crunch time. Plum, mid game from her. Candace Parker, like I said, she's just riding the wave. She's not really doing too much, but not to be expected. Of course, we do expect the Las Vegas Aces to be sitting in the one spot for the rankings. Of course, the defending champs, the Aces. No WNBA team is perfect or have had a perfect season still. They want to stay unbeaten as long as possible. But this past week, 2 teams in the lower part of the standings, they did push them. Friday, it took a signature Chelsea Gray jumper shot to help them pull away from Atlanta, which Atlanta did do pretty good in that game. They kept it pretty close, was Pretty crunch time, and the Dream they played pretty decent. Parker, Cheyenne Parker definitely held her own in that game going up against the Aces. That was a big part of why they were actually able to keep it close. And then, of course, like I said, this game right here, they had to have a big game from Asia in order for them to win and squeak out that win against the Fever. This week, I finally feel like we're gonna actually have the Aces be tested in their 2 game. Well, I'm gonna give it 3 games, even though the Sky are missing some players due to injuries and stuff like that. But the 2 games going up against the Sun are going to be some telling games because one, of course, the Sun, they're known for their defense. That is, and they're going to push them. We get a rematch of last year's finals and stuff like that. So, it will be interesting to see how this game is going to go with Jonquil Jones being gone, with the new super team that the Aces have formed. Asia keep it going? Is Jackie Young going to have still dominant performance? And then for the Sun side, are we going to actually see AT go out here still put up a double with her rebounds or points, or do some more playmaking? Is Hayes, is she gonna go out here? Is she gonna have a dominant performance, dominant game? Is she gonna be able to get the best of Jackie or Chelsea Gray? Those are things that, of course, we're gonna actually see and we're gonna get figured out. And then Brianna Jones, can Brianna Jones actually hang with Asia Wilson? The answer to me, honestly, is no. I don't think that she can. But we're gonna actually get to see that in action. And then going up against the Sky, it's gonna be interesting. They should honestly beat the Sky. But if we've seen anything, how the Sky were able to come back and win against the New York Liberty this yesterday, then I definitely feel like we shouldn't put anything past the Sky. The Sky have a pretty decent roster. They have dogs out there. Copper. You have Williams, Marbury. These girls want to play. They're gonna play hard. They're gonna play a full 40 minutes of a game. So I think that this is going to be the better part of games that we'll finally get to see for the Aces, unlike what we've seen already to start the season. Number 2, they got the Sun. I don't disagree. Of course, once again, 1 and 2, I would expect that to be the Sun and the Aces. Granted, I would like it to be the New York Liberty, but after they drop that game going up against the Sky, I could definitely see why they're down here at number 3. Totally makes sense. For the Sun made a case for jumping to number 1 this week after victories against the Fever, the Lynx, and against the Wings. Still, the undefeated Aces hold on to the top spot, but everyone is looking forward to seeing the Aces and Sun matchup, which I think that after these 2 games this week, the Sun versus the Aces, that is going to tell us who's going to jump in the power rankings. Because if the Sun can actually hang with the Aces, that's going to be a lot. It's going to mean a lot if they actually can do that. And if they go 2-0, or if they go 0-2, they might actually fall down to number 3. They might not be as good as what we were expecting for them to be this season. But we'll figure out those things when they actually play later on this week. And granted, one of those games are tomorrow as well. But one of the things that kind of sticks out to me in regards to the Sun, in regards to what they did this past week, I know it says that they got victories going up against the Fever and the Libs and the Lynx. Those are 2 games I'm just like, if I see Minnesota, if I see the Fever, and if I see the Storm on the schedule, to me they're just giving me games just because of how these teams are playing. Especially when you're in the top 3 of the power rankings, you're expected to beat these teams. That's why that game going up against the Aces and the Fever, it going so close was unexpected. Maybe the Aces might have some struggles on the road. That might be what we're actually seeing, because that could be the only explanation to me in regards to why those games were so close. Just playing on the road, playing at home, yeah, they look dominant, great, but we'll see. I'm very interested in this game. I feel like straight out the gate, this is probably gonna be the game of the week. It's gonna be the Sun versus the Aces. Definitely will probably be the game of the week, but definitely an interesting game for us to keep an eye on and to look at. And but yeah, the Sun, they look good defensively, which we know that's what they're kind of built on. They did a good job holding Enrique. They held her to 8 points on 3 of 16 shooting. Great job. Amazing defense. Good stuff. And honestly, I was down on Enrique coming into the slate as it is, just because I was like, that defense, the guard defense that the Sun have, which is why I'm going to be interested to see how are they going to be able to handle Plum, Jackie, and Chelsea Gray. How are they going to contain them? Who are they going to stop? Who are they going to let actually get loose? Because they're defenders of Hayes, Bonner, and Heidemann are pretty good guard defenders. It's going to be a really great matchup. Really, very, very interested to see that. All right, New York Liberty, of course, sitting at 3. I do agree. 4 and 2. I wouldn't mind dropping them down to fourth, just for the fact that they had a 19-point lead going up against the Sky, and they gave that up. They did not play a complete game for 40 minutes. They played a halfway game in 20 minutes, and the Sky came out there, played to their identity, and did what they did. Um, of course, the newsworthy stuff is the fact that Brandon Stewart and Vandersloot, yeah, they won their homecoming games. It's not revenge or anything. Like I said in my breakdowns before, they left these teams on their own free will. Free agents decided to go sign somewhere else. But the Libs, they won in Seattle, they won in Chicago, and they should have won again and went 3-0 this week, possibly been in the number 2 for the power rankings, but they did not. They gave up in the rematch, going up against the Sky, a 86-82 loss. The fact that the other game, and I do agree with what they say in this article, the fact that the other game ended 77-76 and was close, you kind of felt like the Liberty were going to be in a little bit of trouble when they played against the Sky again. Just for like the fact that the Sky could hang with them, and it actually showed. But again, like I said, they started out so hot, but just the isolation ball, not playing to their identity. If you go back and watch some highlights, I know Johannes, she's back, but Johannes looked bad. Yeah, she knocked down a couple of shots, but she had like ISO possession where she dribbled off her foot twice and went in there and just threw up some wild, crazy behind shot. You got some rush shots early in the shot, like crunch time, fourth quarter, just looked bad. Gave up the lead, just all around bad. Stinker, washed down the toilet. Horrible, just horrible. That could have been the stinker game of the week, but just horrible, horrible. But sitting at 3, to be expected, especially considering they are a super team. I would like to see them definitely. They're playing against the Lynx, should win. The Dream should win. Dallas, of course, I'm going to give this one to my Wings because it's my Wings, but they should win going up against Dallas as well. So they should be able to go 3-0 this week. If they don't go 3-0, I wouldn't be surprised, but 2-1 is definitely much more attainable and expected, especially with 2 matchups against somewhat gimme teams in the Lynx and against the Dream, depending on exactly if the Dream can hang with them in that game. And number 4, we got the Chicago Sky. The Sky, they lost by 18 to Atlanta on Tuesday, followed by the news that Rebecca Gardner is going to be out indefinitely with a foot injury. We covered that in the beginning of the pod. Adding to their shorthanded woes, what did this guy do? Almost beat the Liberty in Chicago, which we saw, like I said, 77-76. And then they did beat them. Kalia Copper had 47 points. So we finally got to see Kalia Copper that we saw in the first game of the season. She came back. She dominated. She was out there. She was hooping. She was balling. It looked great. Good ball from her all around. And if this team is going to win more games, it is going to be on the back of Kalia Copper and Maria Barberry going out there and popping off and having great games. You're going to have to get that from them in a night in, night out basis. Same thing, you're going to have to see Courtney Williams come out there, step up with the playmaking. She's doing very good on the rebounding end. And just go out there, stay steady with her 12 to 15 points that she can give you. Off the bench, get your production. Elena Smith looked pretty decent, great to start the season. I haven't been too high on her or anything like that. But for her to actually come out here and do what she's doing, play very decently as well, I do like what I'm seeing from Elena Smith. And then Cone off the bench, Cone, she's hit or miss in regards to what she's going to be doing. But as long as they can actually keep the production going, don't have no problems with that. Los Angeles Sparks sitting at number 5. I guess this isn't bad. The Sparks, they had their overtime win going up against Phoenix. Like I said, dead game of the week. Phoenix, they should have won that game. It was a very entertaining game that night, and the highest scoring of them, of course, extra period, that helps. Lexi Brown, she had her career high 26 points. Great three-point shooter. Like I said, if they want to continue winning games, it's going to be on the back of Lexi Brown. NECA, Canada, out there, they're going to have to produce, score, and do what they do. Led the way with NECA. She led the way with 27 points, 14 rebounds, and a beat, beating Seattle 92-85. The Sparks' only loss so far has been to both against the Aces. That's interesting, to say the least, for the fact of course, yeah, they lost to the super team, to be expected. But the fact that the Sparks are showing that they can hang with these other teams, especially going up against not a middle-of-the-pack team they are a middle-of-the-pack team in Phoenix Mercury. Now, if they can do this going up against, like, the Mystic, going up against the Dream, I might expect them to lose going up against, like, the New York Liberty, but teams like the Sky, maybe if they can hang with the Sun, that's gonna really tell us who the Sparks are gonna be this season. If they can somewhat make a decent run when it comes to the playoffs, that's really gonna tell us. So they got Seattle again this week, which we saw how that game went. It was a pretty close game. Maybe Seattle, they went toe to toe with them. Seattle might be able to actually etch it out. and win, especially if it's going to be back home for Seattle. Might actually out and win. They're playing against the Sky, which I feel the one going up against the Sky is going to be more of a true test in regards to if this team is serious and if they can actually play. Because the Sky, they are a decent team. They're a good team, well coached, great players all around. And then the Minnesota Lynx, again, the Lynx, they're all right. This is going to be more of a test for the Lynx than it is going to be for the Sparks. So very interested, but they should at least go 2-1 on the week with at least wins going up against Seattle and the Lynx, and maybe a win versus Sky, but it wouldn't be surprised if they lost. The Washington Mystics, while the Sparks were able to win on back-to-back nights, the Mystics were not. They edged Dallas 75-74 on Friday, but they fell 80-78 to the Minnesota Lynx. The Lynx' first victory of the season. Landon Deladon, who did not play in back-to-backs last season, she lost 33 minutes in both games, but with different results. Like I said, the first part of the back-to-back, great, 23 points, 46.7 shooting. But that second night, 12 points, 33.3%. Horrible, 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 trash game from Elena Della Don. That is all I'm going to say. I honestly will move you down to 7 and would put the Dallas Wings up here at 6. That's just my 2 cents. But, hey, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not even going to go back to beating down the Washington Mystics. Nah. I've already given them too much time. Dallas Wings. Injuries, they kept forward Satu from being fully at her best during her first 2 seasons since being number 2 pick in the 2020 draft. But she's been outstanding so far. I think outstanding is an understatement to what Satu has done. She has been, honestly, most improved player. She's honestly been a keystone for the Wings. And if it was not for her in the game going up against the Sun, they would have been out of that game. That was honestly on the back of Satu going off and doing what she had to do. And she honestly almost, if she would have knocked down that last pull-up 3 that she had, might have, I want to say, either tied it or won the game for them. Enrique didn't have it going. The Sun, they shut her down. But Satu, just the keystone in regards to why this team's actually playing so well is so great. Their next 5 of their 6 games are going to be at home, where we are 2-0. So hopefully we can actually win. We play against the Phoenix Mercury this Wednesday, the Phoenix Mercury again on Friday, and then we're going to be at New York. So interesting games for Dallas. Right now we're sitting at 3-3. If we don't want to fall, we have to at least win these games going up against Phoenix. We honestly have to win these games going up against Phoenix. We do. We cannot go 1-2 on the week. Dallas has to go 2-1 at least. They have to. No, like no other exception. They have to at least go 2-1. Like that's honestly what it is. They have to go 2-1. Just point blank period. I can't stress that enough. If Dallas wants to be good, like Dallas's offense is clicking on all cylinders. Whenever you got Enrique going, when you have Satu going out there doing what she's doing, and Natasha Howard, when all 3 of them are popping off and going good, the offense looks great. They have the highest rating offense right now in the league, but the defense, which is what Dallas came into the year saying that they wanted to improve upon and actually do, but we have not seen that from them yet. A lot to work on, a lot to work on, but they will figure it out. They will get it. Coming out here to number 8, the Atlanta Dream, sitting at 2-3. They had them ranked at 10 last week. So the Dream, they lost their home opener on the 28th to the Fever, but bounced back this past week by being the Chicago and challenging the Aces, but falling by 5. Cheyenne Parker stood out against the Aces with 25 points and 11 rebounds. She was a big part to the Dream, out-rebounding Las Vegas 36-31. Cheyenne Parker, we already know what she can go out there and do. Like I said, with the new signing that they have of... but like I said, with the Dream, with their new signing in regards to Taylor, hopefully... if she's able to come in and make an impact for this team, I'm not going to say she's going to come straight out the gate, take someone's minutes and stuff like that. But if she's able to come in and give them the 3-point shooting that they're looking for, give them that other scoring punch that they are needing, then maybe the Dream will be able to do something. Now, this week, their schedule is pretty tough because they're going to be going up against the New York Liberty on Friday and then going up against the Sun. 2 games that I honestly would not expect them to win. But for the fact that they were able to hang in there with the Aces, maybe not maybe they if they can hang in there with the New York Liberty on Friday, hang in there with the Suns, you're gonna feel good if you're the Dream. You're already not going to be expected to win these games. Like, just point flat out, period. You're not going to be expected to win these games. But if you can hang in there and build on what you're going out there doing, continue to build your rookie, continue to build Haley, get Taylor integrated into the offense, continue to see what you got in regards to the backcourt with Gray and Rainey. work on those things and see how that's going to flow. And especially going up against these teams like the New York Liberty, you did pretty good going up against the Aces. Build on that. This is the type of things that these young teams that they have to do, that they should do. So I don't expect them to win. I do expect them to go 0-2 and to be coming back here 2-5 next week. But all they got to do is just hang in these games. That's going to be what's going to be more important for them in this instance. Coming out here, number 9, we got the Fever. The Fever, they went 0-2 after ending their 20-game losing streak. Yay! Finally won a game on the 28th. But considering the losses were to the top teams in the Sun and the Aces by a combined 7 points, Indiana doesn't drop in the power rankings, which is good. I agree. I don't think that they should, especially for the fact of they stayed in both of those games. They didn't get blown out like a lot of people would predict. They hung their hats on their offense, on their defense. You actually had big games from not only Boston, but Nalissa Smith is playing very good. I don't think that it's been an understatement in regards to what she's doing on the offensive side. The 3-ball looks legit and real. She's rebounding like a monster, averaging double-digit rebounds. I want to say 10 to 11 rebounds a game. Looks good out there in regards to what she's doing. If you can continue to get the production that you can get from Boston, yeah, right now she's leading the racing in regards for Rookie of the Year, to be expected. I kind of want to see more from Boston, especially on the offensive side, and actually all around for Boston. I want to see her step it up on the defensive side, because that was one of those things that she was able to do in college, was play pretty good defense. And then on top of that, the offense. They got to figure out ways to get her going. The game going up against the Sun, it was honestly because of her that they were in that game. She played very well. Win at Brianna Jones was honestly just giving her buckets left and right. Going up against Asia Wilson, different story. Kind of struggled, not even kind of, did struggle, didn't get any scoring going, didn't rebound, just looked out of it. And then, of course, got into foul trouble. If we can continue to build on that for Boston, she's going to have a very prosperous career. She's going to look great. She looks great out there. But I would like to see more of a dog in her. Sometimes to me, it doesn't seem like she has that dog in her to go out there and play hard and do it. I don't know if it's the conditioning, running up and down, the more physicality of the league, whatnot. But I want to see a little bit more out of Boston, especially if you're unanimous pick for Rookie of the Year. Next, we got the Phoenix Mercury sitting at number 10. I do agree, especially for the fact of you dropped that game going against the Sparks that you should have won. Oh, going back to the Fever, they're playing against the Sky, and they're playing against the Libs and the Mercury. They should at least go 1-3 in these games. The game that I give them a chance to win will be going up against the Minnesota Lynx. That is a game that they possibly have the chance to win. Not saying that they're going to, but that game should be close. Going up against the Sky should win that game. Phoenix Mercury, if they get their heads out there, they should win that game. Coming out here, Phoenix Mercury sitting at 10. They're 1-3. Putrid start. Brittany Griner, her return. She's returning to her home state of Texas. And many Baylor Bears are planning to attend the game on Wednesday for the first of the Mercury's 2 meetings with the Wings. So if you believe in narratives, especially for my DFS folks, if you're watching this, understand Brittany Griner, she's got the narrative in regards to the Baylor Bears are planning to pull up, show and show out for her game going up against the Wings. So we might see a BG pop off, career high rebounds, points, blocks game. That'll be very interesting, especially considering that Biggs can give it to the Dallas Wings. Biggs honestly can. If she's able to get in there, dominate Natasha Howard, go out there, dominate Satu, maybe get them into some foul trouble. We saw that Howard, she did get into foul trouble when they played going up against the Mystics, and she did get in some foul trouble when they were playing going up against the Sun. So definitely is possible. Definitely can happen. But maybe Phoenix can get something going. The Mercury lost their lone game of last week by 6 points in overtime, lost to the Sparks, but had a chance to win a regulation. Griner started off well, averaging 22 points and 8.8 rebounds. If Griner can go out here and have a dominant game, like I said, they definitely could win one of these games going up against the Wings. For the Wings, like, I would rather them be able to win both of these games, but I know it's not going to happen. Dallas is going to lose one of these games. The Mercury are going to win one of these games. This is a home game for the Dallas Wings. Both games are at home, so it's gonna be interesting. Shouldn't be no travel or anything like that for the Phoenix Mercury. They're still gonna be right there playing, so there's that for them. They should be rested. They only played one game this past week. Shouldn't be nothing going on with them, and then they should dominate this game going up against the Fever. This would be a pretty good test for Leah Boston going up against another big in Brittany Griner. Be interesting to see how she handles that test. Coming out here, we got the Minnesota Lynx sitting at 1-6. The Lynx were understandably extremely ticked off at their 0-6 start after an 89-84 loss at home to the Sun on Thursday. Coach Reeves was highly critical of Minnesota's defense in particular. The Lynx did a much better job of that on Saturday in the last. Getting into the win column, 80-78 at Washington. Tiffany Mitchell's put back off of her own miss gave the Lynx the winning basket in the closing second. Like I said again, the Mystics, they dropped that game. They just did not come to play. The Lynx, I'm not going to take anything from them. Like I said, when you have Kelly McBride popping off and you're getting good production out of Dorka, you're getting good production out of Shepard and Collier, I'll give it to you, especially whenever you catch a Lane Deladon on a bad day. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Definitely much deserved, much win. Proud of them. I think they're going to still be sitting right here at the spot they're facing against the New York Liberty and the Sparks this upcoming week. Those are two games that I would expect them for them to lose. And if anything, they have a chance to beat the Fever. Be another good game for two young teams to see exactly where they match up. But I would expect them maybe to lose that game versus the Fever, or they could win. That's going to be a much closer game than the New York Liberty game. They can hang with them, but the New York Liberty, they should win that game. And then the Sparks, with the way that they've been playing and gelling, if they get the same production that they've been getting from Lexi Brown, from NECA, if Cheney can actually have a good game, not getting foul trouble, it'll be interesting to see exactly how that pans out. But I would expect them to go 1-2 in this upcoming week. And last but not least, we got the Seattle Storm, 0-4, of course, still ain't 1-0. Jewel Lloyd, like I said, just popped off this week, 37-point, just amazing game. Go back and watch the highlights from the game. Great game. But they lost in the homecoming for Breonna Stewart, lost that game. And honestly, this is kind of where we would expect the Storm to sit for most of the season. 0-4 start. They're going to probably stay here. They're facing against the Sparks again this week at home. They're going to be facing it Washington at home. And they're going to back-to-back, well, not back-to-back, but Washington home game. All these games are at home. So maybe they can edge out a win going up against the Sparks just because they kept it so close in that last game. If you can get another repeat, I'm not going to say you're going to get another repeat performance from Jewel Lloyd, because if the Sparks come in and don't make any adjustments there, then that's bad coaching, and that's going to be on them. But if the Sparks can come in and hold their own, do what they do, but the Storm can get more production from Easy, get some production from Nurse, something besides Easy and besides Lloyd, then yes, they can definitely win this game. It'll be an interesting game. Nonetheless, should lose to Washington. As long as Elena Deladon isn't on her bull, definitely will be an interesting game to see exactly how that goes. But yeah, all right, guys. I think I'm gonna actually wrap this up here for this episode. Hopefully it was a pretty good episode. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this content. If you guys are enjoying it, like I said all the time, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you guys don't miss anything. And then if you're looking for more DFS content, breakdowns in regards to WNBA, or wanting to get into breakdowns and stuff like that, check the links down in the description below to sign up for some accounts, Prize Picks, DraftKings, different things like that, so you guys can enjoy some of this stuff. I will be having a WNBA breakdown tomorrow for tomorrow's 3-game slate, so do not miss that. Hit the subscribe button so you do not miss that as well. Drop a like if you did enjoy this episode, and tell me what you would like to see on next week's episode of the WNBA recap show. We will be on week 4. I look forward to breaking down these games from this week, and I hope that everyone has an amazing and wonderful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.